Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Hey everyone. This week, we're looking at tech that makes life easier. Or sometimes maybe just a bit louder.
Definitely louder in some cases we'll get to.
Right. We've got a kind of AI toolkit for creators we want to talk about. Apple's making some interesting hardware calls. And then there's this whole mini PC versus portable internet thing happening.
Yeah, changing how and where you can actually get work done.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward. We're going to unpack the key specs, look at the surprising trade-offs from, well, this huge stack of sources we reviewed.
Exactly. So you can figure out what actually matters to you.
Okay, let's dive in, maybe starting with AI image stuff. Everyone's buzzing about Mid-Journey ChatGPT for images, but Google's Nano Banana keeps popping up as like the really impressive tool right now. What's the deal there? Why does it stand out?
It really comes down to one key thing, memory. Unlike the others, where each prompt is basically a fresh start.
Right. You start over every time.
Yeah. Nano Banana actually remembers what it just created.
Yeah.
That might sound simple, but it makes it infinitely better for, iterative editing, fine-tuning things.
Okay, that makes a huge difference in workflow, doesn't it? If you're trying to refine something, you don't want to rewrite the whole prompt just to change, like, a shirt color.
Exactly. So say you have a picture of someone.
Mm-hmm.
The big advantage, the first tip really, is character consistency. You can change their clothes, their pose, the lighting, even the entire background.
The whole background.
The whole background. But their face stays recognizably the same person. It's not just generating a lookalike, it's editing the concept you started with.
That sounds incredibly useful.
Yeah.
Almost too easy. What about precision? If I want to make, say, surgical edits, just change one small thing, how does it handle that without messing up everything around it?
That's where the natural language part really shines. You can target tiny details with surprising accuracy. One source tested it with home decor ideas, prompting cream walls to, duck egg blue. Didn't like it. Switch straight to dusky pink. It just isolates that instruction really well.
And you can talk to it conversationally. Like if the AI makes a mirror that's way too big.
You can literally just prompt something like, that's too OTT, make it more demure, and it gets it. It understands the nuance and scales it down.
Okay, that's impressive.
And beyond that, there's blending and restoration. It can merge up to 3 images, which is neat, but maybe more impressive is restoring and colorizing old black and white photos.
Oh, how does it do that accurately?
It uses its, vast data set to make pretty informed guesses about historically appropriate color palettes. It's not just randomly splashing color.
Interesting. Okay, so that's for refining images. But what about the brainstorming phase? Google also has this thing called Mixboard. Is that the...
Yeah.
Pinterest meets AI tool?
That's the one, Mixboard. It's in public beta in the US right now, basically designed as an AI concept board.
So you use prompts to generate ideas, like for, I don't know, concept art for a game?
Exactly, like drafting character ideas or asset cards for maybe a new indie RPG. You generate images based on your prompts.
And the workflow sounds clean because you can use Nano Banana inside it, right?
Correct. You build your board. You can add text notes, duplicate images easily, tweak them, and crucially, if you generate, say, a character on a background you don't want.
You can just zap the background.
Yep. The Nano Banana integration lets you remove the background pretty easily. It really speeds up that whole ideation process.
Okay, that's a pretty powerful AI toolkit just on the software side. But what about the hardware? The stuff that lets you actually use these tools anywhere? Let's shift to the physical gear. Starting with the Geekom IT15 mini PC sounds like a beast in a tiny package.
It really is. I mean, the chassis is tiny, 4.6 by 4.4 by 1.8 inches, like really small.
Wow.
But it packs these powerful Intel Core Ultra processors all the way up to a Core Ultra 9.
In that little box.
Plus quad display support, dual USB 4 ports, 2.5 gig Ethernet, even Wi-Fi 7. So connectivity is pretty future-proof. Benchmarks even showed it beating the later A9 Max model in some tests.
Okay, so desktop power, tiny footprint. And it looks like it's upgradable too. 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM.
Easily upgradable, yeah. It's a seriously capable machine, but...
There was always a but, right?
There usually is. What's the catch? Price. Heat.
Price is definitely premium. Starts around $899, goes up to $1,199 depending on what's inside. But the major drawback, and this seems linked to cramming that much power into that small space, is noise.
Ah, the fan noise. How bad are we talking?
Under load, like heavy multitasking, the case fan can hit 55 decibels.
55 dB. What does that actually sound like? Is that like a constant whine?
It's noticeable. It's not a gentle hum. It's loud enough to be distracting in a quiet room. It suggests the cooling system is really the bottleneck here, and it seems to be a recurring thing with Geekom's Intel machines, unfortunately. So not ideal if you value a quiet workspace.
Wow.
You might need noise-canceling headphones just to work on a spreadsheet.
Pretty much. Or, yeah, maybe just head to a coffee shop where there's already background noise anyway. Oh, and also worth mentioning, there were some initial Wi-Fi hiccups reported that needed the latest Intel drivers manually installed to fix.
Good to know. Okay, so if the mini PC is too noisy, maybe we need to get really remote. That brings us to Starlink Mini. Internet in a backpack, basically.
That's the pitch, high-speed internet on the go. And it is seriously portable, just over 3 pounds, about the size of a laptop.
Okay, but does it actually work well when you take it, into the wild?
Performance seems pretty impressive, actually. Tests done way out in the North Cascades wilderness.
Like proper remote?
Proper remote. They got average speeds of 127 megabits per second down and 17 up, which is honestly close to the U.S. median for the standard fixed Starlink dishes.
Wow, so you could easily do video calls, stream stuff from pretty much anywhere.
Absolutely. The potential is huge for remote work or just staying connected off-grid, but again, challenges.
Let me guess. Power.
Power is a big one. It needs a fair bit of juice, ideally 100 watts, minimum 65. Tests showed a big 24,000 milliamp power bank only lasted about 4 hours powering the Mini.
4 hours. So a full workday is tricky without a bitter solution.
Yeah, you'd need a serious solar panel setup or maybe a portable generator for extended use.
What about just physical limitations? Trees.
Obstructions are the other main thing. Like any satellite tech, trees, buildings, anything blocking that clear view of the sky will kill the signal. And then there's the cost.
Right. How much does this portability cost you?
The data plans aren't cheap. It's like $50 a month for just 50 gigabytes of data.
Ouch. Overage.
$1 per gigabyte over that. Or you can go for an unlimited plan, but that jumps to $165 a month.
Okay, so it's definitely pricey compared to home cable or fiber,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess you're paying for that anywhere connectivity.
Exactly. It's for places where traditional broadband just doesn't reach. It's a trade-off.
All right, let's pivot to Apple. They seem to be making some interesting, maybe conflicting moves with their hardware vision. Let's talk iPhones first, specifically the rumored contrast between a value iPhone 17 and a design-focused iPhone Air.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. The iPhone Air, supposedly starting around $999, seems all about being thin and light. We're talking super slim 0.22 inches thick.
That's incredibly thin.
And light too, around 5.8 ounces, plus a slightly bigger screen, maybe 6.5 inches. It's pure design focus.
Okay, but Apple's quest for thinness, it usually comes with compromises, right?
Yeah.
What's the Air potentially giving up compared to the maybe $799 standard iPhone 17?
Well, the leaks suggest the iPhone 17 is probably the better all-around value. The big sacrifice for the Air seems to be the ultra-wide camera.
No ultra-wide, so no macro mode then.
Exactly. You lose that functionality. And charging speed might take a hit too, potentially only 20W wired charging on the Air versus maybe a much faster 40W on the standard 17.
I also saw something about mixed benchmarks, that the standard 17 might actually win in graphics tests. How does that work if the Air is more expensive?
That almost certainly comes down to thermals. When you make a phone that thin...
Nowhere for the heat to go.
Precisely. The chip generates heat, especially under load like gaming or video editing, and in such a slim chassis, the phone likely has to throttle performance much sooner to avoid overheating.
So it slows itself down.
Yeah. Whereas the slightly thicker iPhone 17 would have more room to dissipate heat, allowing it to maintain peak performance for longer. Plus, potentially better battery life on the 17, too.
So basically, you pay $200 more for the super sleek design, but you get fewer camera features, slower charging, and potentially worse sustained performance. Form over function, big time.
Seems like it. The iPhone 17 sounds like the smarter buy for most people, based on these reports. Function over form definitely seems to win on value this year.
Okay. And sticking with Apple's form factors, what about the high-end AR/VR space? The Vision Pro is getting some updates, but the bigger story seems to be a strategy shift.
Right. The existing Vision Pro looks like it's getting pretty minor bumps, maybe an M5 chip, an updated R2 input processor, a new black color option, maybe a comfier strap, small tweaks.
But the strategy? Are they pulling back from the big headset idea?
That's what the reports are suggesting. Apparently, plans for a cheaper, lighter Visionaire headset are being scaled back or maybe even shelved.
Really? Why?
It looks like they're pivoting to focus almost entirely on actual smart glasses as the long-term goal, the eventual replacement for the iPhone, perhaps?
Wow. So they don't see the current bulky Vision Pro style as the mass market future anymore.
It seems that way. It suggests they view the heavy headset approach as maybe too niche, too complex, or just not the right form factor for everyday mainstream adoption. Smart glasses are seen as the more viable path, eventually.
Fascinating shift. Okay, let's wrap things up with a couple of quick hits on AI productivity and some important regulation news. First, give us a quick productivity win something to get thoughts down fast but keep them polished.
Okay, the current cool hack seems to be combining Wispr Flow with Claude.
Wispr Flow. What's that?
It's a free, real-time AI voice dictation tool. But the neat part is it sort of edits and polishes your text as you speak.
Oh, interesting. So how do you use it with Claude?
You use Wispr Flow directly inside the Claude chat interface. It lets you do this kind of conversational brain dumping for your ideas. You talk, it types, and refines.
So it bypasses that whole tedious process of typing out long, complex prompts, makes it feel more natural.
Exactly. The prompt engineering feels much more fluid, more like a conversation. But there's a catch.
Always a catch.
You have to pause frequently. If you just talk nonstop for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Claude gets overwhelmed.
Yeah, it seems to confuse Claude with the sheer volume of text coming in all at once. The process kind of unravels. You need to treat it like an actual back and forth. Pause, let it process, then continue.
Got it. Good tip. Okay, finally, let's touch on that important policy update. California's new law, SB 243, targeting AI companion chatbots. What's the main thrust of it?
The absolute core requirement is transparency. Makers of these chatbots have to put up a really clear, conspicuous notice saying the product is strictly AI.
Especially if someone might get confused and think it's human.
Precisely. If a reasonable person might be misled, that notification is mandatory. It's about making sure users know exactly what or who they're interacting with.
That feels fundamental. But it goes further into safety, too, doesn't it?
It does. Starting next year, these companion chatbot companies have to submit annual reports to the state's Office of Suicide Prevention.
What kind of reports?
They have to detail the safeguards they have in place to detect, remove, and respond if users express suicidal thoughts or ideation within the chat.
Wow. That's a pretty significant step.
Yeah.
Directly addressing the potential mental health risks of these very personalized AI systems.
It's a major regulatory move. Yeah. Really reflects the growing concern about the impact of this technology.
So we've covered a lot today, from potentially noisy mini PCs to AI companions that are now being regulated for transparency and safety. If you take one thing away from all this, maybe it should be that growing need for clarity, for transparency, right?
I think so. Whether you're editing photos with Nano Banana and want consistency, or you're talking to an AI friend, knowing what the tech is and isn't seems increasingly important.
Yeah, it raises that question for everyone listening. How important is it to you that technology clearly says, I'm not human? Is this California law something we'll see spread?
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Definitely. The conversation is shifting towards accountability and understanding the nature of these interactions we're having with AI. It requires conscious choices from all of us.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.